Good afternoon. My name is Belinda Holland, and I'm a resident of Great Falls, as well as the candidate for Senate District 11. While this is my first Governor's Data Center Task Force meeting, I have attended the Great Falls Development Alliance's data center meetings because I believe Montanans deserve to understand how these projects could affect our water, our electrical grid, our economy, and ultimately our quality of life. As someone asking the people of Senate District 11 to trust me with their vote, I believe it is my responsibility to ask the difficult questions before decisions are made, not after the consequences arrive. Regarding sections B, C, and D of the draft report, I appreciate the work that has gone into these recommendations. However, I believe there is a critical piece missing. The report repeatedly calls for technical analyses and planning, but it does not clearly require that those analyses be independent, transparent, and conducted in the public interest, and that matters. Montanans deserve analyses they can trust, analyses that fully evaluate cumulative water demand, wastewater impacts, electrical grid reliability, transmission costs, long-term ratepayer impacts, and financial liability before major decisions are made. And when I look around this task force, I see representatives from utilities, transmission companies, industrial energy users, energy developers, and businesses that could benefit from expanding Montana's electrical infrastructure. What I don't see is equal representation for residential ratepayers, consumer advocates, family farmers and ranchers, or the everyday Montanans who will ultimately live with the consequences of these decisions. Public trust depends on hearing from the people who will pay the bills, not just those who may benefit from the investments. Just across our border in Cheyenne, Wyoming, wastewater associated with construction of Meta's AI data center contaminated the city's reclaimed water system. And although the city's drinking water remained safe, local officials still had to suspend wastewater discharges, investigate the contamination, clean the system, and revise their policies. Montana has the opportunity to learn from Wyoming instead of waiting for something to go wrong here first. We should not have to learn those lessons the hard way. I also have serious questions about the proposed merger between Black Hills Energy and Northwestern Energy. As Montana discusses expanding its electrical infrastructure, are we planning only for Montana's future, or are we preparing a larger regional grid capable of serving the rapidly growing demand from hyperscale AI data centers across our region? If so, Montanans deserve to know exactly who will pay for new transmission lines, substations, generation, and other infrastructure. And now we are discussing tax abatements and other financial incentives. If Montana is expected to provide tax incentives, expand electrical infrastructure, dedicate water resources, and assume long-term environmental and financial risks, then the public deserves a complete accounting of what Montana receives in return. What is the return on investment for Montana taxpayers? How many permanent Montana jobs will these projects actually create? How much tax revenue will be foregone? And who will pay for the infrastructure? And how are we ensuring that ordinary Montanans are not subsidizing some of the wealthiest corporations in the world? Northwestern Energy customers have already experienced significant rate increases. Working families, seniors living on fixed incomes, farmers, ranchers, and small businesses are already feeling the strain. They should not be expected to pay higher utility bills while simultaneously watching multinational technology companies receive tax incentives and benefit from publicly supported infrastructure without complete transparency and independent public review. Economic development is important. Innovation is important. But protecting Montana's water is important, and protecting affordable and reliable electricity is important. Protecting the people who already call Montana home is important. If the public provides the land, the water, the electricity, the infrastructure, and the tax incentives, then the public deserves more than promises. The public deserves proof, because responsible leadership doesn't ask, how fast can we build? Responsible leadership asks who benefits, who pays, and what happens if we're wrong. Montanans should never wake up one day to discover they're paying yesterday's promises on tomorrow's utility bills. Thank you.
Further public